Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason and I'm bringing you today's video. The crazy one running around with her stuffed turkey burger is Freya, my fuzzy co-star. She's a little crazy right now. And she also wants to bring you today's video. Don't forget to please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Alright baby, alright. Like and subscribe buttons. We're just a small family channel. Just like to bring you guys books, authors, new things to read, new things for entertainment. Not enough people read for fun. So we'd appreciate any support you guys want to give us. We're going to keep doing these videos anyway. So, on that subject, today's video is going to be a little bit different. We did one of these last month as well. I want to, instead of reviewing a new book or a new author, I want to discuss our 5 most popular books that we reviewed last month. So, we want to review November 2022's most popular books that we reviewed. Basically the ones that got the most views, the most comments, the most likes, and bring those back up. So for those of you guys that are looking for something new to read, these were, again, the 5 most popular ones that we talked about last month. So, coming in at number 1, the most popular one that we reviewed, is actually one of my favorites. Defiance of the Fall, Book 7. I believe the author goes under the pseudonym The First Defier. I hope that's a pen name, otherwise his parents lost an election bet. And Defiance of the Fall, Book 7, absolutely phenomenal system apocalypse type book. It's a lit RPG book. One of those, you know, the system has suddenly overtaken the earth for whatever reason, and now we've got classes and levels and stats and powers and all this kind of stuff. Only this one was a little bit different in that it's basically like, you know, the system is kind of universal. Earth was held out of it for reasons, and now it's being integrated into it, but when I say Earth was integrated into it, Earth was freaking integrated, as in Earth was taken, merged with other planets, turned into a larger landmass, and aliens, and so on and so forth. So, what we've got, the Defier, Zachary Atwood, actually cannot cultivate, which makes him very, very rare, but for, again, reasons, came out very overpowered, came out with a few advantages from the beginning, and through those advantages, built up a little town called Port Atwood. He is now, by Book 7, he is now Lord Atwood. He is now considered the lord of this town, and he is pretty much in line to be the planetary lord, which opens up a whole lot of other options. And Book 7 is where he starts expanding out. Starts expanding out from Earth because things have happened. He's lost some people that are very, 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 very close to him. And he realizes he needs to gain more power. And the way to gain more power now, he thinks Earth is more or less protected, at least long enough, thanks to the events of Book 6, to where he feels that he can spend, you know, up to a century, although preferably a lot less, building up his power base. Because he is, while he may be the most powerful one on Earth, he is not the most powerful one anywhere. Anyway, Defiance of the Fall, it's an absolutely unreal good series. You guys have to check it out. If you like lit RPG, if you like those system type books, you have to check it out. And most of our fans agree because, again, our number 1 most viewed and most liked video of November. Our number 2, coming in at number 2, one of my favorite authors. Talk about a lot on this channel, John Ringo. John Ringo and the book Eye of the Storm, which was the most recent one in the Legacy of Aldonada series, and it's one that brings together all these characters from the previous books, even ones that did not necessarily intermingle, such as the German commander from Vaktam Rhein, I believe it was the book. It was kind of a standalone book from the war, the Poslian Wars, and of course you've got Mike O'Neill back, plus his daughter Callie O'Neill. You've got Tommy Sunday. You've got former captain, now specialist Karen. Pretty much every major character comes back. A lot of them take, you know, Arcady Simon, the general. They pretty much all come back, and there's a new war. There's a new enemy, and the Darhel need to stop playing games, which means that Mike now is in charge. And it's very, very interesting. It's a phenomenal book. It's probably my favorite one of the Legacy of Aldonada series, and I'm hoping more people go out, more people check it out, more people read it, more people buy it, so we can get a little bit more pressure on Mr. Ringo to write the frickin' sequel, or hand it off to one of his many co-authors that have been helping write the Legacy of Aldonada and do absolutely fantastic jobs. Because this is amazing. He's finished one series that I know of, and this one is one that I really want him to continue going with. So please go check it out. Eye of the Storm by John Ringo. Coming in at number 3. Number 3, most popular book that we reviewed is an older book. Utah Blaine by Louis L'Amour. Louis L'Amour is an absolute master of the Western genre. He's an incredible writer. He was basically, in a lot of ways, he was a cowboy. He went and he rode the trails of the cattlemen, the ranchers, and even the outlaws that he would write about, or that he would mention. He didn't necessarily write about. Most of his characters were fictional, but he would go and tour most of these areas. He would ride the trails himself, camp out under the same stars in the same fields, and that gave him a very unique perspective on what he was writing. Plus, he was just a big student of the Old West. He being early 1900s, he wasn't necessarily a cowboy himself, but he was certainly exposed to people that lived during that era, so he knew a lot about it. And it does not mean that his books are necessarily, super close to reality, because they're very, very fictionalized, very romanticized. Louis L'Amour was kind of the one that really created the sort of romanticized view and version of the Old West cowboy and the Old West gunfighter and the hero, the white hat heroes, and the quick draws and stuff like that. Well, in reality, most of that stuff wasn't as big as you would think from these books, but Louis L'Amour made them big, made them huge, and he wrote absolutely fantastic stuff. And Utah Blaine is definitely one of his better novels. Amazing, absolutely amazing book. Coming in at number 4, and I'll be honest, this one surprised me because I thought it would have come in closer to number 1, maybe number 1, number 2, somewhere up there, because of just how amazing this series is, how it's a newer series, and how it has an absolute butt ton of fans. But Malazan, Book of the Fallen, Reaper's Gale, which I want to say was book 7. It's either book 6 or book 7, but I want to say it's book 7, Reaper's Gale. Absolutely incredible. One of the things that was great with Reaper's Gale was it took the huge cast of characters that Steven Erikson has created through this entire first part of this 10-book incredible epic series, and brought a lot of them together, and a lot of the threads, you've got all these things that are happening in tandem at the same time. Different worlds, not really worlds, but holds and such, which are basically almost parallel worlds. And you've got these, one group of heroes doing this travel, one group of heroes doing this travel, one group, not necessarily heroes, but they're, in this city, another group of heroes that are coming towards this city, and a lot of things start to come together. And a lot of these actions that have occurred in these other books all start to show that they're all kind of leading to the same things, or at least the same end results. And this book finally does finish the stories of some of the big characters that we've been reading about for multi books. Obviously, it leaves some of them still open, and one thing we have discovered through this series is that just because they die does not mean that they are done with their stories. Just look at Hedge, just look at Silver Fox, or Tattersail, whatever you want to call her. But a lot of these characters, not a lot, but some of these characters, it does feel like their stories are finally finished. And of course, it leaves a few things open, but this up to this point, this was my favorite book. Erikson definitely got better with every single book. I know there's some people that don't think that his later books are as good as the earlier ones. Some people think book 5 is the best. I think this one was absolute best of the up to that point. As far as the later books go, we shall see. But absolutely incredible. If you are a fantasy fan and you have not read Malazan, Book of the Fallen, I don't know what the heck is wrong with you. There's something broken in your head, but you gotta go check it out. Reaper's Gale was absolutely phenomenal. Coming in at number 5, slightly different genre, because let's see, through the first 4, we covered a lit RPG, we covered a military sci-fi, we covered a western, and then we covered a fantasy. So that's 4 different genres. Last one, we actually hit a 5th genre and a subgenre, superheroes. We have Beyond Superpowered, and this one is both a superhero novel and it's one of the harem-lit subgenre novels. Pretty fantastic. It's an interesting isekai type book where you've got the character that comes to another world. Only this time he comes to the other world because he was committing suicide, was basically because he was dying of a terminal disease, rescued by a goddess. And this time, instead of going to a fantasy world like a lot of them are, he goes to a superpowered world. Superpowered world that's Earth adjacent. It's a lot of things very, very similar, cell phones, stuff like that. And then some minor things that are very different, including superpowers, the superhumans, the way they are done, the financial aspect of the world and how they make money and things along those lines. Very, very fascinating, especially in his case because he shows up and he displays superpowers that seem to grow and keeps bringing him higher and higher and higher on the power scale. At the same time, his superpowers do not come from the same source as everybody else's, which makes him an anomaly, which makes him hunted. Pretty fantastic, pretty fantastic. I actually intend to read book 2 fairly soon. I've got this massive, massive, massive log of books that I need to read. Not sure where I'm going to pull that off, but I will, I promise. So there you guys go. After you guys hit the like and subscribe buttons, go check out whichever one of these books tickles your pick. We've got 5 different genres, all awesome books, all awesome authors. Check them out. Thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.